Ever since its revival by Crystal Dynamics, the Tomb Raider franchise has enjoyed a healthy amount of acclaim. Now, after 2 games featuring this new start for Lara Croft, Crystal Dynamics has taken more of a backseat role. Instead, the developer of the recent Deus Ex games, Eidos Montreal, has taken up the baton for the third part of the trilogy, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. While the game doesn't bring much new to the table, the amount of quality and polish found throughout the adventure put it above its predecessors. Shadow of the Tomb Raider once again revolves around Lara battling against the Trinity Organization, a group that seeks to control the world. The story begins during an expedition where Lara takes an ancient dagger that sets off the beginning of the apocalypse, taking many innocent lives. Now Lara and her friend Jonah must travel to Peru in order to stop Trinity and the destruction of the world.
Lara! You gotta get out of here.
While the overarching story is simple and upfront, the characters themselves are what make the game interesting. There's a good amount of time given to each major character to let us understand their feelings and motivations. For example, the game does a great job at building the relationship between Lara and Jonah. They really feel like best friends, and that they would do anything to help each other out.
By the way, this cafe is supposed to have really good food. I know the chef.
I'm not very hungry.
After all of that, I'm starving.
Like the previous 2 games, Shadow of the Tomb Raider's level design is fantastic. The game is a plethora of big spaces with lots of things to climb and explore. There are also plenty of small and dense areas that can feel almost claustrophobic at times. These areas are divided into different regions, which could be a hassle if you needed to go back and forth between them often, but the game's progression doesn't really force you to do so. If you do choose to go back to get some missing collectibles, you can warp between campfires, which is unlocked fairly early into the game.
I never should have taken that dagger.
Campfires are used for more than just fast traveling. When resting at one, Lara can purchase new skills. There are 3 skill trees: Seeker, Scavenger, and Warrior. Seeker has skills that help Lara find more crafting materials and enhancements to her survival instincts, which highlight resources in the environment. Scavenger has perks like improved stealth kills and swim speed, and Warrior is focused on combat, like increasing the chance of knocking enemies down with melee attacks. While there are some skills that don't feel that important, there are a few that make the investment worth it.
What is all this?
Crafting once again plays a large role in the game. You can harvest wood from trees, pick berries, or skin animals to collect fur. These are used to upgrade your equipment like weapons and clothes, but they're also used for items like health potions. Lara can now use plants found around the jungle to give her temporary buffs, such as slowing down time when aiming or improving her ability to detect animals and natural resources.
Hey, you want to know your way around Kuakyaku? Just ask me.
Are you the local tour guide?
I know where to go and who to steer you clear of.
I see.
One of the most interesting additions to the game are the towns. Here you can talk to locals to learn a bit more about the area, and certain people will even reveal treasures or other items on your map. Meanwhile, merchants will sell you new weapons, ammo pouches, and weapon upgrades.
Omar and his thugs are after money, not history. I have items of cultural significance for sale. They may be damaged, but they're worth restoring.
There are also side quests that can be picked up in towns. At first, they can include pretty dull tasks like killing some guards or simply talking to a few people, but the game always tries to tie in a narrative with these quests to make the towns feel more alive, which is appreciated. Thankfully, these side quests get a bit better as you progress and offer good rewards for completing them.
Go meet him there. I'll take care of these guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Once again, the sense of adventure and discovery is the strongest part of the game. Traversing the jungle to unexpectedly find a hidden chest or diving into the water to find some gold always feels gratifying. This is mainly due to the fact that each area is intriguing in its own way, enticing you to explore locations instead of rushing by. Although traversing the world is fun, one annoying aspect is that the game is constantly throwing tooltips at you, even later in the story. Exploration is further enhanced by the tombs found throughout the game, which are mostly optional. Each tomb you visit offers its own theme and puzzles to tackle. These also provide good rewards like brand new skills or pieces of gear. Similarly, crypts serve almost as mini tombs. Although they're not as fancy, they're still enjoyable and worth exploring.
What an incredible sight.
Stealth is engaging once again, pulling an unsuspecting foe into the water, sneaking through the bushes to stab an enemy, or leaping from a tree onto your prey is satisfying. Lara's added a few new techniques to her stealth arsenal. She can now cover herself in mud, making it harder for enemies to detect her, and she can shoot enemies with a rope arrow and string them up in a tree. They're all good additions that make Lara really feel like she's in the prime of her career, even though some of the enemy AI can feel a bit dumb at times. The shootouts are pretty basic affairs, but they've been improved slightly from the previous titles. There are some goofy combat encounters though, mostly when you're thrown into arena-style areas. Thankfully, the game does a nice job of spacing out the shootouts from one another and balancing them with the stealth, exploration, and puzzle sequences. Rarely does it feel like one section is drawn out or goes on for too long. A smart addition to the game is how it handles difficulty. Players can individually change the difficulty of combat, exploration, and puzzles. For instance, if you raise the exploration difficulty to hard, it eliminates the white markings that indicate where you can climb, and it reduces the time you have to make a saving grab. New campfires will also be unlit, and it disables the ability to highlight crafting materials while exploring. It's a cool feature that lets you tweak certain aspects of the game to your liking. While it may not have a ton of new features or a gripping story, Shadow of the Tomb Raider improves upon just about every aspect of the previous titles. Its combat is a bit tighter, characters feel more personal, and the locations you visit are more intriguing than ever. If you're a fan of the previous Tomb Raider entries or looking to jump in for the first time, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is Lara's finest adventure yet. Easy Allies reviews are made possible by generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/EasyAllies to help us make more. For just $1 a month, you can gain access to weekly updates, spoiler discussions, and exclusive shows.